This video is going to show you how to assemble your puzzle cube once all of your individual parts are created. So now we're still working with English, but we're going to be using the assembly choices. So we're going to use the middle standard.iam. IAM is inventor assembly file. So we're going to create that file, and we have a blank space. We can't use any of these yet because we have no parts that we're working with. So we want to place our parts first. So we'll click place and we'll find our parts. So mine are in inventor puzzle sample. So I can click it and see that all my puzzle pieces, which are these, are made. So I'm going to take my blue piece, and I'm going to click anywhere on the screen. So I placed my blue one.
Jasmine Washington, report to the main office for dismissal. Jasmine Washington to the main office for dismissal.
If I wanted more than one of these, if I had two of the exact same parts, which you can't, but if you did, you could just keep clicking, and that would just place multiple parts. Or I can right click and do cancel escape. So I want to place the rest of my pieces down, and in this instance my puzzle has 7 pieces. So this is just a sample. This is not gonna look the same as yours will. So I'm just placing all my pieces. Depending on how you save your pieces, you can place multiple files at once. But that's why I'm getting these error messages, because they were saved in a different section. So I placed 6. I just have my last piece. And did I have my gray piece? No, so that's our last piece that we'll have to figure out. Okay, so we can zoom out, and I can take these pieces and drag them out so that I can see all of my pieces. Okay. So what I want to do first is ground one of my pieces. So that will make sure that nothing else will be able to move. So I'm going to find a piece that's in the exact orientation that I want it. So either my pink piece or my green piece would be a good one to ground. So let's go ahead and ground we'll ground my pink piece. So I right click and go to grounded, and now I can see when I try to click it and drag around, it won't move. I can right click and it says grounded. I also get that I can drag this one around. If I go hover over this, I can see that thumbtack, which means this piece cannot be moved. Okay, so initially I can see that I have my pink piece here. I want to make my yellow piece, let's just put my yellow and blue piece together where they say number 1. So let's move these ones out of the way. We don't need them right now. I just want to work with this yellow and cyan piece. So they're obviously not facing the right way. So we're going to use constraints, which up here, this is going to be your best friend for this puzzle cube assembly. So you're going to click constraint, and you're going to get this box to pop up. There's a bunch of different kinds of constraints that we're going to use as we make more and more inventor files. This one is mate. You can make them constrain at an angle, tangent, insert. This would be used when you add like a screw maybe inside a hole, or a screw and a kept nut, and then also symmetry. The one that we're going to use for your puzzle cubes are just going to be the 2 mate constraints. So here's mate, which means I take one side and another side and they're going to touch, or I can say that I want them flush. I want this side and this side to be next to each other. We're going to need to use both of them. So first I'm going to say mate. I want this inside of my L, so I'll click that and I get that arrow. If I go over to I can highlight a side, which will highlight this, but you always want to use this arrow. So I know that I want that side and this side to be touching. Now, as you see, my pieces are touching, but they're not laying down the right way. So as I constrain them more and more, I'll be able to see that that they will be able to be in the orientation that I want. So I'm going to apply that. As you can see, though, I can still move this this puzzle piece. It actually is constrained in one dimension, but you can't really tell because the two other dimensions that it's not constrained in make it hard to see. So this piece is actually staying in line with this top of the blue, but we need to constrain it more. I might want to say that this side, this box, and this box need to line up with each other. So instead of saying they're going to mate, I'm going to say that I want them flush. So I want this side and this side to be flush. I'm going to apply that, and now you can see that I can only move it in one dimension. If one of these is grounded, let's just ground it for show, we can only move this in one dimension. So every single one of your pieces, you're going to need to constrain in 3 dimensions, X, Y, and Z. So we constrained it in the Y, right? This puzzle piece cannot move up or down. And I also constrained it in the X because I can't pull it out towards me. All I can do is move it along the Z axis. So my last thing that I want to do is make sure that my puzzle piece lines up in the Z axis. So there's a bunch of different ways to do this, but I'm going to say that I want this top and this top to be flush. Once I apply that, now you can see I can't move this at all. It's constrained in 3 different dimensions. So I'm going to unground this piece because I want it to be near my pink piece, which my pink piece is already grounded. So now if I move this, they both will move together. They cannot get separated. I want them to be huddled around this pink piece now. So I'm going to use my constraints again, and I want to say that this inside, I want that inside to touch this inside of this pink. It looks funky, don't get scared. You're still doing the right thing. The only thing is that it's only constrained in one dimension. So the more dimensions we constrain it in, the better we'll be able to see our orientation change. So I want to make sure that this yellow comes towards me. We can see that the yellow is on the left-hand side of this pink and the cyan is on the right-hand side. So let's constrain. We can say that we want the back of this piece to line up with the back of this piece. So we can say that we want we didn't do mate, that was our issue. We want that and that to line up. So now those are lined up. We're good. We need to constrain. Let's say that we want the inside of this. Now don't forget, it's on the outside. We want the blue to be touching this part. So as you can see, the more that we constrain it, the more you can see the orientation take the correct orientation that we want. So our puzzle piece can still move up and down. So it's constrained in X and Z. So we want to make sure the bottom of our puzzle piece lines up. So I'm going to flush my bottom of here and my bottom of here. If I apply that, I can see this bottom is going to look the way that my puzzle piece solution bottom should look. So I have that pink, then I have orange and blue. So right now we're on step 2. We want to put this green piece right behind my pink piece over here. So let's take that green piece out. And we want to constrain this side to touch this side. Apply that. We still need a couple more. Let's say that we want the top of them to be flush. And now we also want the back to line up. So I can apply those, and now my green is another piece that is stuck in there, can't move. So see, right now we have this sort of a shape. So we have our blue and we have red. So we want the red to spin around a little and come into this corner. And we're going to want our blue to come in that corner. Our blue is already perfectly oriented, so it might be easier for us to see. We want the top of this to constrain with the bottom of our blue piece. And I chose my color for my blue to be blue clear, which is why you can kind of see through it. It looks a little weird, but that's okay. I can always go back and change it, and I'll show you how to do that in 1 minute actually. So now I know that I want this blue to line up with my pink, so I'll flush the back of my pink and the back of my blue. I'll apply that. Now I only have this z-axis that it's moving along, so maybe I want to flush the side of this blue and the side of this yellow. Now it can't move. Now what if I say, oh, I didn't notice that this was going to look clear. I want to change it. We double click on the piece that we want to change and everything else will go gray. So now we can see that blue is the only thing that's highlighted. I can go back, I can change its dimensions. If I see that they're not fitting together the right way, I can say maybe my dimension's wrong. I can double click on that sketch and I can change those dimensions if I want to do that. Finish that. That's not what I want to do. What I want to do is change my color. So I can click, I can see that I'm on clear blue. Let's just find blue. Blue glossy. And now, when I'm done with that, I can right click, finish edit. And now we see my piece is not see-through anymore. So that's a way to change the piece even as you're working. So now all we have to do is put our red in, and we want to constrain, we want to flush this side of my red with this side of my pink. So that oriented it a little bit for me. I can also say I want these sides to be flush. Apply that. And I can also say that I want the tops to be flush. Apply that. So now all my pieces are right there. The only thing I don't have is my gray piece fitting in, which I can make if I want. I can do a new part, make my part, and then I'll place my part after it's all done. But I think you've seen a bunch of different ways to constrain your parts. And now you can see that my entire cube is all finished. So you can see that the isometric views of your cube should match up to this assembled 3D Inventor cube.